Hello and welcome once again to Motors for the Masses, and we are back with Bob.
Episode 6, I think? Possibly 7?
Something like that.
No, look at the title, it'll say there. So, what are we doing today?
Today we have already done some stuff. A block thing for the mudguard.
Hold that!
Over there.
Roll the intro.
Oh yeah.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light down in the dirt.
So yeah, sorry about that, but we had to put the intro in somewhere. Anyway, carry on.
That's as good a place as any. So we have a block thing that we said we were going to make, and we have for the mudguard, which will go down on the swing arm in there. But I don't think we've got long enough bolts. Actually, we might have. That's quite small, so we'll be all right. Yay!
Okay. What we're also going to do is make up 2 more blocks for the seat and shape the seat. So you will see how we made those blocks and what we did during this video.
Yeah. What else?
Okay, also we are going to be looking at the switchgear. Now, we were going to get a new reservoir for this, but the one on that donor bike that you can see just out of shot there is good. So we're going to steal that one. And just to answer a question that someone said, why are you using a perfectly good bike? It isn't a perfectly good bike. It's knackered. The engine is duff and the carbs are all gunked up and screwed up, and it's just not worth repairing. So we might as well use the stuff on this that we can use. Yeah. Now, with that in mind, we have bought 2 new side panels. Now, we are going to put these back on this bike and colour code them to the tank and the mudguard. However, we're going to use those ones, because they're all scratched up and a bit scuffed, as practice ones. So we're going to do what we want to do on those. If they turn out alright, brilliant, we'll just make good those ones and use those. If not, we know where we're going to be able to use these. But however, these were only sort of 20 quid each, so it wasn't actually that bad. Right, so, first things first.
Yeah.
Mudguard.
Yes. Let's do that.
Come in for a closer look. So then, Mel, how did you get the spacing here?
I used a piece of rag, folded up the same way each time, and just placed it on the tyre and then sat that on top of it.
Yes.
Pretty much. It gives us the space underneath and around the edge
that we need.
It still needs a little bit of fettling, but it's there. And then our spacer, with the bolts removed, fits. It may need a little bit of trimming off of it, it's not the end of the world. Fits under here. Like so.
Yeah, it's a bit of trimming.
No, it'll be alright, it's just bolted down. It probably needs a little bit off, there is a gap there.
Right, okay.
Because the rag isn't quite right. But that's where it's going to sit, pretty much there.
So just remind the ladies and gents what this plastic rod is.
That's going to be our bracket to hold.
Actually, what it is.
Oh, that's a solid block of. Well, I asked for acetal, but it's something else that's similar. Plastic, PE, whatever that is, polyethylene or whatever.
Yeah.
It goes in there. I've tapped it right the way through with an M10 thread, and we'll bolt it through the bit of swing arm there, and then the other way on the mudguard, and there's enough space there for a very thin headed bolt or set screw or whatever you want to call it at that end. And then this end, I've had a look at this, and the angle between the outer part of the swing arm here, past the chain, and then exactly the same on the other side, past the caliper, down to the swing arm. If we use a piece of flat bar or flat stock, we can have a nice hoop that goes over the top, doesn't get in the way of the caliper, doesn't get in the way of the chain. We'll hold this nicely and we'll support our stoplight and whatever else we decide to stick up there.
So we've also had at this stage people talking about lowering the bike, and that is something we were considering. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it at this height for now. Once the seat is in and the mudguard is in and it's all bolted up, we're going to revisit it and see if it needs lowering. If it does, then what we will do is move those bottom brackets back or get some shorter springs. If not, we'll leave it as is. So we're a bit open to that at the moment. So the next job then is to get the back wheel off so we can drill a hole in the swing arm. Yeah, that pallet stand isn't going to work because now we can't undo that nut and it's in the way of the exhaust. Helpful, right, never mind. Plan B. So there we go, we've just lifted the front end up, stuck a couple of axle stands in there. That's not going anywhere, so just get the wheel off and then we can drill through the back of the swing arm. So let's do that. Sorry about the banging, it's the wind. Ooh. Yeah, this is not going to be easy on my own. Malcolm's gone out on a test ride, so I'm trying to do this on my own without it. Oh, typical. Right. Oh, there we go. That's not too bad. You can tell this bike is quite new because it's still got all this bloody old silver nickel crap on it. Ugh, hate it. Yeah, this actually might be easier if I take the exhaust off. But it's just such a pain in the arse to take the exhaust off just to get the bloody back wheel off. Now remember, when you take things apart, reassemble them as much as you can before moving to one side so you don't lose all the bits. So we've previously marked here where the centre was before we took the wheel out, so we know where it has to be drilled, just to make sure, because we didn't know whether the wheel was actually central to the middle of the swing arm. Now we've marked it, there's no room for error.
There's always room for errors.
No, there isn't.
It's just how you overcome the errors afterwards.
No errors, all perfect. So, with that in mind, drill. I might have to hold this bike. And here comes the rain.
That's a lot of rain again.
We had a monsoon earlier.
I'm drilling this a second time because when I drill a hole I like to start with a smaller drill first and then open the hole out to the size I want. So I started in this case with an 8 and I want to be at 10, so I'm now doing a 9 and I'll do a 10 afterwards.
What's the advantage of that, Mal?
Generally it's you get more control over a smaller drill bit and you get your hole where you want it.
Yes.
Pretty much it really for me.
Yes.
There you go, so our bolt should fit through that now. With any luck, or just judgment. There you go, could do it being a bit longer, but we'll get a longer one later. And that screws onto it.
Other way around.
That was okay at the end.
Yeah. All good! Woo!
It's quite neat, isn't it?
It is. Right, where's the mud guard?
Over there.
And fetch.
Needs to have using the force.
Oh, lovely. That will go on there, thusly.
To have sharp bits.
And then there'll be a wheel under that.
And obviously a thing of some sort.
A thing of some sort, indeed there will.
We have had plans.
Are they best laid plans?
They are very well laid plans, but they are subject to change.
Right, okay.
Pretty much we can just say, well, however thick that is for there, we can just measure up from the bottom of that.
Yes.
Easy.
Right, are we going to measure side to side to be on the safe side?
We should, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, there's a tape measure laying on the floor somewhere.
There is, I've seen it. Hang on, I'll use the force again.
What I'll do is I'll use my legs to go over here and get...
I'm using the force. Come hither. Come hither. There it is. Brilliant. Ow!
Did it get you?
No. This could go pear-shaped. Hello. No.
It's all good.
Right, yeah. Please don't be alarmed by the bolt. We're not going to be using that.
No.
But just for measuring and getting in place purposes, we are.
Testing purposes only.
So that is in place there. That slides in to me. I was going to say to me more, but that's she's an actress, isn't she?
Is she?
Demi, what?
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Is that him?
Yeah. Look at that look! To coin a phrase used by a popular philosophical ancient bloke, look, we've done stuff! That's him, by the way. He says that.
I'm sure I'd consider myself to be ancient. Getting there.
Of all the things I said, that's what you pick up on. But everything else you were quite happy with, were you?
I don't remember the rest of it.
Someone's decided that they need to hold the revs on their van at 3,000 RPM whilst honking the horn for some unknown reason. Oops. Oh, hello, that works. Up, in.
Alright, so that's where it'll be. That obviously
Right.
needs some tweaking and whatnot.
Yeah, but the height of that will be held in place by the bar that we're going to put over it.
Alright, let's just put me a bit of rag in there.
Your spacer.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Hmm?
What is the purpose of that?
I don't know, maybe he's just put new coolant in it or something. And
It needs to be held at 3,000 RPM for the next foreseeable future.
for the next foreseeable future. There you go, that's
There.
right, isn't it? I'm actually happy with that all around the wheel. So we might actually go a little bit higher, in fact. Yeah. I didn't want that much space.
But it doesn't matter too much because the height we can adjust by the bar on the side.
Yeah, but to keep it even around the wheel, so it doesn't look uneven and odd.
Okay, as it looks on my side profile.
It still needs a little bit of fettling, so that's just a bit twisted, but
What do you think, Internet? We realised that it wasn't looking quite right, and the reason was because the wheel had moved back, so now it's back in position. It actually looks a lot better from the side profile. What do you think? Right, seat. Right, so still with the revving moron in the background, Malcolm has cut down the nut to go in the seat, so that now sits a lot lower. Looks much better. Obviously we're going to flatten these out and slice the edge off this,
yeah, neat now.
so we can get the one in the bottom. So that's not a problem. What we have to have what we have to do next is bend this back piece up, so these are almost touching, and then 2 more pieces of this black acetal block will go either side, one there and one there.
And we'll
and then-
take these studs out as well and just put bolts in instead.
Yes, so that will look so much better.
Yeah.
Right, let's do that. Let's do some bending.
And this is going to want to move forward a bit as well.
It
It's
is.
only because of the tank flap thing.
Yeah,
in the way.
well, I think the next thing we do then, if we take that off, is grind the edge of this off the tank piece. So look,
Which
once
I was
that's
going to do
out
last week, but
yeah, because of the
fuel
fuel
came out.
peeing out of there, we couldn't. So we're going to cut the edge of this off right up to the edge of that rubber.
Yeah.
So it just moves us slightly forward. Bye.
We want that.
I hope that van blows up.
That's probably not his van.
I don't care whose it is, though, but it blows up anyway.
Alright.
Right, grinder.
There's no fuel coming out, is there?
No. We're good for non-fuel problems. It's at this point where I must inform you that that bike is changing. No, it's not going to be a zombie bike. It is, however, having a new colour. The paint is... I'm not going to tell you. But it's not going to be zombified or matte or anything weird. It's this! You see it? Yes, look. Lovely colour, isn't it? No, it's not going to be white either. It's inside there. However, the change is happening. It's going to be sweet as anything. Can't wait to see it. I'm not spraying it. I'm actually getting someone professional to spray it because I want it done properly. So, for now, I'm just going to quickly show you the tank so you can see just how bad it is. And it's going to be done properly. So, let's move it a bit closer. So look, whoever sprayed this before, look at all those cracks and God knows what in the paint. And here, where the original tank pad was, it looks like they've either sprayed around it or stuck a tank pad to a wet tank. Whatever it is, it's awful. Scratches in the paint. Look at all that. Look, it's awful. Absolutely awful.
Is it awful?
Yeah, not sure I've mentioned that yet.
I'm pretty certain it's awful, right?
Look at it. Whoever sprayed that needs a damn good kicking.
Face.
Right, that's enough of that. Back to him. Yay! We survived.
There's no fire.
Right, so now that's gone, this seat base should be able to move just enough forward for it to not look ridiculous.
Well, that's the plan, yeah. These rubber things are a bit of a pain to get back in.
Yeah, the rubbers have to come through, don't they? And yet, Mr. Revy is still trying to blow up his van.
I wonder for why.
I don't know. Perhaps he's gone home.
There's that little spacer that fell out.
Oh, look at that one there.
It used to go in the hole. Now, do I use the cut down bolt, which isn't long enough, or the taller one?
Use the cut down one because it doesn't have to pull in, does it? We just have to make sure it's the right
we
height.
just have to make sure it fits where we want it to. That will actually probably come down a bit without them tabs on as well.
Yes, it will.
Trim those off.
Right, where's the seat?
Yes. Super easy. It's there in the space.
Yeah, and that will also come down as well because
Yeah, that stud can go.
that stud can disappear. Yeah? Right, I think the next thing, before we do anything else, is get rid of this middle one. Chop that off.
Yep.
Ooh, much nicer.
How about we don't bother with letting the blocks in? We just bend the plate up to meet the thing, and then we'll make a little metal bracket to weld to the frame underneath it. Because by the time we bend this plate up, we can bolt straight into that.
So we don't actually need that acetal at all.
Not on the back there, no.
No. Or we just do thin acetal spacers.
Yeah, it might be nice to have a spacer, but we could just use washers for that, to be fair.
The washers look tacky, I think.
Why don't you paint them black? Black washers.
Acetal. We've got it.
We have.
Cost 10 quid. Use it.
We've used it down here.
Yeah. It's not enough.
And then we'll use it on other projects.
To coin another popular philosopher, make it so.
I wouldn't call him a philosopher.
Some might.
No. Thespian. He's a thespian.
No, he was Dr. X. How? You can't get more philosophical than Dr. X.
Yeah.
Mr. X, Dr. X. Which one was he?
Don't know, I haven't watched any of them films.
Isn't
No.
he? He was an X.
In a wheelchair, that fella.
He was X-Man.
He's Dr. Xavier, isn't he?
Xavier.
Is that right?
He was Doctor?
Xavier. Yeah, I'm sure that's what his name is. I don't know, I haven't seen it.
Doctor Who?
No, not Doctor Who.
Oh. Or Dr. X.
Maybe.
Right. Yes, well, it's the same guy, isn't it?
Yeah. He's
I'm
thespian.
Well, how cool would it be if he just said, Wolverine, make it so. No? Sorry, I smacked the camera in my hand, I was getting excited. Right, move on, come on, I'm waffling. So you just put the bigger bolt in,
Yeah, I'm liking the angle that it's kind of put on. And I want to try it.
Just be mindful that
Ah,
it's on
on
stands.
stands.
So
That's quite comfortable.
I've mentioned that before. Is it? You're brave.
That's alright, I'm good. I'm a bit of a piss on it.
That's what I meant.
I'm probably in a bit of a funny place.
It doesn't go anywhere.
No. But that's quite comfortable.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a bit of a, I'm doing a wheelie, but
Actually, it looks good on the camera screen here.
comfortable.
Can't see your face.
Alright. Would you like to try it?
Yes, I'm aware there's actual stands, so hopefully I won't bugger off backwards or sideways or any other way.
Go slow, you're alright. Try not to knock the seams off, it's not fixed in place. Yep.
It still takes you by
It
surprise.
does, doesn't it?
Right, okay. Yeah, it's your knees are bloody high.
Yeah. I wonder if we can move the pegs forward at all. Whether that's a practical thing to do.
Well, how can you? Because if you do that, you've got to move the brake pedal forward and the gear change forward.
Yeah, it's not a big idea, does it?
You have to extend them.
You extend the linkage, yeah.
Um,
It's a rod, doesn't it, on these? Oh, it goes straight onto it, so just move the whole thing. I don't know.
I mean, your knees are up here by the tank. Bearing in mind, we are 5'10.5" stroke 5'11".
Yeah.
How does it look from that side profile? Let us know, please, in the comments below. Do you think our knees are too high? Can you just pull the camera back so you can get all of us in?
Yeah.
Try and do it without knocking it.
Going rogue with the tripod. So. There we go.
How's that? How does it look? If it's here,
It's weird
it's
because the
supposed
front
to be on
wheel's
the
in
edge.
the air.
Huh?
It's weird because the front wheel's in the air.
Alright, tilt slightly, that's it.
Yeah, hang on. Try and get the wheels at the bottom. There
It
we go.
feels like my knees are too high up on the tank. And maybe my arse should be here, not where it is. I don't know.
It looks very small.
Yeah, and
Remember
these,
how when we built my first bike, we were like, that seems so small.
and these handlebars don't seem long enough. To me,
Is that because you put your hand...
but my hands are right out in front.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is right on the edge of it. Just look over my shoulder, see what you think.
Yeah. It does seem
To me, they should be here.
somewhat narrow. Maybe what it should have had was some kind of apron bars.
Or like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you.
Actually, because that would encourage you to lean back a bit and your knees wouldn't feel quite so high.
Yeah, but then you're not on a bobber. Then you're on a chopper. And we're not going for a chopper.
What about a chopper bobber?
Well, I mean, we can make up our own. We've done it before.
I'll tell you what, at home, I've got the old handlebars.
Do you have to go across the back of my bald head whilst you do?
Everyone knows you've got a bald head. I could bring my bars that have in them, like the ones that are on this, like that, the wavy shape. I've got some at home from my Tsukida.
Have you?
Yeah, we could just try them out and see what they feel like.
But that's the same bars that came off it.
Where are the bars that came off?
The whole idea is to put bobber bars on it. What are you doing with that camera?
I don't know.
Oh my god!
I'm looking for the bars.
You're making this extremely amateur. What, Mr. Bean's holiday now, is it?
Oh yeah, that's quite good, wasn't it?
No!
You like that film?
Yes, I like the film, but not that style of filming.
Okay.
Oh my god, I do apologise. I really am sorry about this complete amateur piece of filming.
There we go. Where are the bars that came off? I think because you're sitting on a bit of a funky angle, you're leaning forward anyway to counteract that, so you don't feel like you're going to fall off the stands. And then the bars are very low and very narrow. So I'm wondering if we should try a different bar in there and see how it feels.
But what difference is that going to make to your right angled leg?
And if the bars are higher, if they're slightly further back, you're going to sit back a bit more and you won't feel like you're kneeing yourself in the chest.
Tell you what we need to do. We need to compare how this feels sitting on it to the Keyway K-Light. Because that is like a low slung bobber style bike.
Do we have one?
We have one.
Let's go and do that.
Right, follow us. Well, you've got no choice.
Well, they can click off.
Don't say that!
So the other thing about the feeling on this one is that actually the bars feel like they're lower down than ours. Ours feel like they're up here.
Okay, what
So
about,
it feels
look at
like
your
these-
angle of your leg.
Yeah, ours is more like there, isn't it?
No, worse.
You reckon ours is like back here?
Yeah.
It is an odd position on ours,
Hmm.
I'll grant you. But the bars feel lower on this one.
Okay.
And very slightly wider, but not much.
Right, let me have a seat. Right, so, I don't know, the bars feel, no, because on the other one, my arms are straight. And on this one, they're slightly further out. Legs further forward. I mean, height-wise, we're about the same in comparison with the tank, except our tank does that, and not that. And it just feels, I think you're right with the, if we can move these forward slightly on ours, but I think we also need to go further out with the bars. Because look, my arm's at an angle here, whereas on ours, it's like that. Just look over my shoulder like I did before,
Yeah.
and we'll see the difference.
This is a really terrible filming because there's a bit narrow for space in here. Oh, there we go.
I think it's there, difference to there,
Where is it before?
there. I think it was there, in front.
No, it's not that close.
Was it not?
No.
To me they should be here.
It's somewhat narrow.
But this does feel better,
Mm.
and I do think we need wider bars, and we do need our feet to go forward.
Okay.
What do you think, internet people? Let us know in the comments below. So, as can be seen, it is different. Malcolm is now going to demonstrate where our feet should be.
Hang on. There we go. Right, so I reckon we want to be there.
Yeah, indeed.
And I've just made the bars wider.
Right. Yeah,
It
so,
does feel better.
I mean, that's easy. I think, is that a 780mm bar? I think you can get an 880.
Possibly.
So
If we're going to
I'll
replace
look for
the
some
bar,
wider bobber bars.
if we're going to replace this bar,
Yeah.
rather than replace these upstand things, let's try and get one that actually fits in the other.
Well, what about getting rid of those up-down things and putting lower ones on? No.
No, I think that's a good height. But
However-
we need to do something because the hole in here is too big for standard size 22mm bars.
Well, we've also discovered that these boards on the side here are more of a chopper thing, not really a bobber thing. So we can ditch those boards anyway and put pegs in.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll make something come up off the frame here and put pegs in and then
yeah, so
make it
where
work.
the pegs need to be ideally. Just put your feet back on them again.
Well, I think here,
Yeah, yeah.
in between the two, the lever there and the...
And then we can just use those same lever.
I wonder if we can just extend that, as it is.
It's only a bar, isn't it?
Yeah, just make it longer.
So just make a longer bar.
And then this side, exactly the same, we'll just extend the...
Yeah, the brake lever is just a bar, isn't it? Oh, it's a disc brake on the back.
Doesn't matter.
So it goes to a master cylinder.
But it's, yeah, but it's just a bar, we can just
Yeah.
replace it for over a longer one or make it longer.
Well, there you go. Problem solved. Well, problem that we talked about solved, just not the actual problem solved.
Yeah, while I've got the...
We're halfway there.
While I've got the bars longer, I'll let it sit on and see what you think. And I've added what, an inch and a half to the bar at the end.
And here, definitely 100%.
Yeah.
And that's all that's needed. That is such a difference from there to there.
Yeah.
Massive difference. For now, let's bend this seat and get that sorted. So, with those two pieces cut off,
Got the ears off here.
lastly, and those two wings off,
Yeah.
or ears as you suggest. Yeah, okay. So now we need to find out where to bend these.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, what problem is with that though? Well,
yeah, I'm looking to change when we bend it.
yeah.
But at least we know where it needs to be, so we know where to cut it off on. I don't need to drill the holes. So, as our title music now suggests, let's get down in the dirt.
And crack on.
Indeed. Should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, we should. Who wants to crack it on? No, get down in the dirt and let's crack on t-shirt. Something in the comments.
brings me neatly onto a little segue point. We are starting a shop to sell stuff. Stuff being watches, our Motors for the Masses watches.
Other channels call it merch. We don't.
No, we don't
ever
like
ask us
that
for merch.
word merch.
No.
It's just wrong.
Yeah.
It isn't. Merchandise, okay, but products.
Yeah.
But we just call it stuff. Stuff. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, baseball caps, watches, and coming soon, a camera for your motorbike, front and rear cameras with a screen, waterproof and everything. For a bargain price, they're coming soon as well. So just watch out, there'll be a link in the description below, because I'm setting it up now, when I finish this.
It may be a bit sparse to begin with.
Yeah, but stuff will be added, and you can still buy stuff now, and we'll get it ordered, and all sorts. So, watch out for that. So, there, that's it. Carry on.
Brilliant.
So, with that in place, what we're going to do is, from the edge of this bend on the seat, bend this over, so it follows the curvature of the seat, and then see where these line up, and then drill through there. Yes?
Drill down the hole, yeah. Sounds good.
Right. Make it so. I've got to stop saying that because I don't watch Star Trek. In fact, I've never watched an entire episode of Star Trek in my life.
I have, I like it.
I haven't, never. I used to watch little clips when it was Captain Kirk, and that was about it. And that was the first Kirk. When Mr. Red Jumper went down with everybody, he was going to die. That era.
Mr. Red Jumper?
Yeah, whenever Red Jumper went down with blue jumpers and yellow jumper, Red Jumper was the one that died and never came back.
Well, the Red Jumpers are the officers.
Yeah, they are now.
Oh.
But back then, when it first came out...
Oh, they all were yellow, didn't they?
No, Kirk had yellow,
Yeah.
and everyone else had blue.
Oh, right.
And then whenever a Red Jumper went down, he wasn't coming back.
Right.
You'd think they'd cotton on to that, wouldn't you? And you go, hang on a minute, John went down yesterday with a red jumper, we never saw him again. I'll have a blue one, thank you very much. You know?
Not sure how that's the jumper
Excuse me,
allocation
Mr.
works,
Kirk,
like.
permission to go and see the quartermaster? Why is this? I need to change my jumper, I'm not quite sure this red goes. I want a blue one. That way I know I'm coming back for another episode. No?
Fair enough.
Alright, okay. Oh, we're filming wall and your head so far. Move on, you.
Tiny teeny one, I can't even see it. Well, then where you touch it and you go, ow, bastard.
I think I may have got one tiny bit of that grind around the outside of my glasses, my goggles, right in the corner of my eye.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah. So, just goes to show, even if you wear safety goggles, you can still get a bit in your eye. Take care. And I think I may have done that because it's hurting. I'm going to go and wash my eye. Back in a minute.
You can rinse it out, yeah.
Right, whilst I'm doing that, make bending stuff happen.
Okay.
Don't forget to film it.
No.
I don't so much as feel as though I've had an eye wash, more of a bath down the right hand side of my body. I'm somewhat wet, but I do believe a tiny bit of grind has gone from my eye. I can't tell because at the moment my eye is slightly numb, shall we say, from having eye wash jet into sort of squeezed like a jet into my eye.
Who did you get to do it?
Jamie.
I bet you laughed.
So it was. I did it myself to start with, and then you're always cautious when you do it yourself. And I said to him, look, I'm not doing it strong enough or hard enough. Just I'll hold my eye, you jet it, and he did, literally in my eye like that. And all I was conscious of was the right hand side of my body getting soaking wet. So I believe it's gone. Health and safety. We can do that too.
Yeah. Make sure you've always got an eye wash. Wow, it worked!
What did?
Hitting it with a hammer.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah, so there we go. So all we've got to do is just drill our holes very slightly down from where the studs are now, and that will drop in and be lovely, and then we'll just trim it to shape how we want it, and we'll make some little gusset pieces that will then fix to the frame. Yeah, so that basically will be chopped across here somewhere and made round and nice.
Right, for now, stick it on.
Yeah.
Having a slight issue there.
Yeah, that's not going to work. You can't get the nut to the back of the stud. So, we need to trim the piece of rubber off to match the tank. And then where this piece of frame is here, there's like a bit that goes across that the tank bolts into. I'm going to cut a little notch out of it so you can get a socket on the back of the nut, yeah. And you'll be able to reach up from that side.
Now, are we going to be able to do that if we ever need to take the seat off with the air filter in place?
Yes.
Sure.
Take the side panel out and you'll be able to get a spanner in there.
Okay. Yeah. So there, it might seem that only a small amount of progress has been made, but that's what this bike is all about. Tweaking and fettling and changing things to make it look just right, because we don't want a half-assed job. Pleased with how that's gone, pleased with how that's gone. In the next episode of the Bob build, we will be looking at the external frame for the rear mudguard. We shall also be adjusting this to make sure this goes on properly, and we're going to be welding some tabs on the back here. In fact, what Malcolm was suggesting was to put these all the way through, so all this is bolted down as one onto the seat, rather than have bolted to the seat and then bolted to the frame. We shall also have our new bars, and we shall get new levers on and reservoir and get them in place. And then we'll be looking at the air filter. We've got the side panels to go on. We'll be mocking up the ones off there, and we've got a nice custom cone filter coming for an arrangement on this side of the bike. So stay tuned for that one. Now, we will be back in the next episode of Modes for the Masters with other bike reviews. We're not quite sure which one's coming yet. However, we have coming the new exclusive review of the Hyosung GV125, the new one that's been eagerly awaited. Yeah, we're going to be the first in the UK to review that, so stay tuned for that. The new Aquila, yes, the GV125 Aquila. So stay tuned for that. Now, I know a lot of people have been asking about the Keyway RKF as well, and we will get around to that. We're just slightly down the line. We've also got the new respray job coming on the Triumph. We've got the Mustang. We've got the Cortina. We've also got the paint is going to be done on the Golf Mondial, and I know a lot of you have been waiting for that as well. And there we go. That's it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining us. Any comments you have, leave in the comment section below. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and all that lot. And if you do feel like supporting us, we've got our Patreon link in the description below as well.
And the new merch thing.
What?
Just don't call it merch.
You just did.
Yeah, but they need to know what it is. We shall call it stuff.
Yes, but don't be a hypocrite. Stand by your principles, man.
Yeah, no, but if you say what it is,
they're not stupid.
Yeah, well, maybe. Some
he
people
might think you're stupid.
Some people
I
are
don't. You can't say that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think any of you are stupid. I think you're all very clever and awesome. That's what they do in American ones, isn't it? You're all awesome. That's awesome, not arsehole. Just for the record. And on that bombshell, I can't say bombshell. No. One program. Until next time, please ride and drive carefully.
But have fun.
Bye.